Hello and welcome back to Make Your Mind. I'm actually, I've gotten a little motivated here since I've been making a couple of videos, and you kind of caught me in the middle of this, but I wanted to start recording this just to show how I was able to make sculptures similar to this. This is something I made today. This is a Yin-Yang Victor Wooten signature Fodera bass guitar with the spalted maple. I tried to get that look as best as I could. And it's the yin and yang, as you can see with the look right there. If you see the real guitar, if you find a picture of it, look it up on Google. The Fodera Yin-Yang Victor Wooten signature bass guitar. That's what it's similar to. And I figure, why don't I experiment a little bit? So I'm actually making, this right here is actually, I'm trying to make it as best I can. This is actually my dream bass guitar. I am a bass player, but I haven't played in a long time. My Ibanez Fretless bass, sad to say, the neck broke in shipment when I was getting out of the U.S. military, and sad to say that I've been a slapper without a bass for a while, so I've been itchy. So the best thing I can do is I can't afford my dream bass, so why not I just make it? So you catch me. I'm halfway through this. I've been motivated to try to make some more sculptures, make some more content here, and if you're curious as to what this looks like, this thing looks crazy, I will have to admit. But this is based on a real bass guitar. It's called the Ibanez SRAS7. It's a guitar that came out a couple years back. It's also known as the Ashula bass. It's a hybrid of a fretted and fretless bass on the same neck. It's a 7-string. The first time I saw this, I've never actually seen one for real, but the first time I ever saw it being played was a couple of years back. And, oh man, the finish on it has a finish on it called Dragon Eye Burst. And I tried to replicate that as best I could. I got these colors right here. It's a mix of red, orange, yellow, and brown. I try to replicate that color as best I can, but it's a little tougher to do it with the clay. The wood, it looks much better, but I am doing my best here. And I'm in the process of trying to replicate this as best I can, so I figure I'd go ahead and record part of the way through here. I must admit, I've only been making YouTube content for a couple of days now, and I have to say, so far I am thoroughly enjoying this. Needless to say, I've been a sculptor doing hand sculptures like this I've been doing this for decades. I've been doing this since I was 4 years old, and it's very rewarding, and it's gotten me so motivated to start sharing this with the world. I've had this talent, or this gift, I guess, that I've been given since I was a child, and I have to share it. So as you can see, the bass guitar as it looks kind of crazy because the wood that's on the guitar, if you look at the real picture, I'll leave a link down in the description below of what the actual guitar looks like. But I'm basically going to be midway through making this, and I'm going to try to do the best I can to try to make it as close to the actual guitar as I can. I got a bunch of these little things I pre-made before I started recording here. Go ahead and flatten that out a little bit. I just have a picture that I have on my computer next to me that I use for reference. But if you ever see this, like I said, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below. Trying to get my sculpture to look just as close to it as I can. One of these days, I will own one of these basses. I love the woodwork. I'm a carpenter, and as you can see, I have this acacia board that I make all of my molds on. And I would love one day to be able to own this guitar for real, and who knows, if I ever do purchase it, I will definitely post it on this video. It's not cheap. I mean, that bass guitar brand new is about $1,300, but the woodwork on it, I mean, that thing is as much a work of art as it is a guitar. And the fact that now normally when you have a bass guitar, especially when you have something like if you don't know the difference, you have fretted and fretless basses, where the frets are basically the little silver stripes that you see on the guitar on the fretboard on the neck. where they're metal, and when you place your finger on the string, that's how you actually play your notes. Now, when you have the fretted, that's how you play your notes, but when you have fretless, you don't have those little metal strips. So you're basically, you push the finger down and it plays a note, but a lot of times, unless there's any markings on the fretboard, you have, especially for regular guitar players, you have no clue where you are. However, you're probably laughing if you're a violin player, because violins are all fretless, the same with cellos and basses and double basses. So if you play upright and you're fretless, you're probably laughing, because most regular fretted bass players are looking at you like, how in the world do you do that? But at the same time, it's just a lot of, it's one of the coolest things I've ever done. There we go. Oh, it's sticking in my hands. I got so much. I've been doing this most of the day. And just trying to see here. There's so many little details in here. Like I said before, the color is called Dragon Eye Burst. I don't think Ibanez, they make this bass anymore, which is kind of a sad thing, because that is one of the most gorgeous bass guitars that they have ever made. But I love the fact that Ibanez is trying to be innovative and trying to do something new. They're always trying to push the envelope. They're always trying to make something different. They're always tinkering and trying to make instruments better. And Ibanez is just one of my favorite guitar companies. I mean, the bass guitar that I had before the neck broke, it was an Ibanez SR300F. That was the guitar I had before the neck broke. And I got into playing music that way when I was stationed overseas. Got to go to some cool places, I will admit. If anybody's curious about that, I will, I don't know, I'll talk about it in future videos. But right now, concentrating on making this thing just look as gorgeous as I can. So, there we go. There's that. Let's go ahead and close that up. The coolest thing about this guitar is that it is, I mean, normally if you wanted to play something like fretted or fretless, you'd have to have a double neck guitar where you have a neck up and a neck below that has the fretted and the fretless. But Ibanez, this is called a hybrid bass, where they have, it's 7 strings. You have 3 strings on the top. Those three strings go to, they're completely fretless. So you can move all the way up and down the board, play any single note, sharp, flat, whatever you want to do. And you can move across without having to worry about fret lines. And then you have 4-string fretted bass underneath. So you have a regular 4-string with a 3-string fretless attached to the same neck. And the neck is absolutely massive. If you've ever seen the real guitar, it is a massive thing. But one of the cool things about the guitar, if you ever see one for real, the fretless portion of the neck is actually higher up than the fretted portion. And that's so when you bend your strings, or when you're doing any kind of vibrato with the strings, you don't accidentally cross over to the fretless section and damage anything else. So there's actually a step from the fretted to the fretless section. It's just a little bit of food for thought for you. All right, now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. Let me go ahead and move these out of the way. But this guitar is one of my absolute dream guitars. I will own one of these one day. And like I said before, who knows? I may be able to, maybe eventually, if this channel becomes a little more successful, I may show a video showcasing that guitar if I ever have a chance to buy it. But one of the other cool things about this guitar, if you ever see a picture of one, like I said, I'll have a link down in the description below. The guitar has what's called a piezo system on the fretless section, where what you do is that there's a pickup. There's no pickups on the body of the guitar itself. Now, there are these 2 pickups, which are J-bass style pickups underneath, and that's for the fretted section. Now, the fretless section has a piezo system where the pickup is actually located in the 3-string bridge. And when you flip the guitar over, it has 3 little holes on the back of the guitar that allow you to adjust the bridge, the pickup in the bridge, especially for each individual note. It's a really, I mean, my goodness, it's an ingenious system. But this guitar, a lot of people don't know about it. You know, everybody knows guitars like, like the Fender P bass, the jazz bass, you know, the Telecaster bass. They know the Music Man Stingray, you know, the Warwick Corvette, you know, bass guitars like that. But this, I mean, if this ever, if the real version of this ever showed up to my door, I mean, my goodness, that would be a truly, that would be that's, I mean, honestly, that's on my bucket list, to actually have that guitar. This is me just sort of getting in here. I'm just kind of tinkering right now, just trying to make something as close to the actual picture as I can. There we go. So we've got the 3 strings on the top. That's for the fretless section. And the woods. Oh man, the woods that they use, especially for the fretless section up top here, it's a wood called Purple Heart. It's a wood that's found in South America, and when you look at it, it just looks like a regular brown tree, but when you cut the tree open, the entire inside section of the bark is like dark and bright purple. It's one of the coolest looking woods. It's also one of the more expensive woods. But the fact that they used it for that section to give it just the major contrast in color, Ibanez, you guys, I mean, I will be a forever fan of Ibanez Guitars. They make just some of the most high quality, just some of the most gorgeous instruments, at least I've ever seen. I mean, this is a dream for me. And I may not be able to afford the real thing right now, but eventually I will. That's a goal of mine. It's either to get that, or I would love to get, there's another bass guitar that I would love to get one day, which is the Ibanez SRAS7. It's a crossover. It's a 6-string bass, but it's not like a typical 6-string. It's actually a 6-string guitar that's actually tuned an octave lower than a standard guitar, so it's more like a baritone guitar. Oops, I got stuck on my finger. There we go. Let's bring that a little further back, shall we? There. And this right there. There we go. And then put the 4th one right there. Okay, yeah, I mean, as you can see, I mean, look at the size of, here's my hand, and then there's the actual sculpture. This thing is actually fairly small. I'm used to making some smaller models of bass guitars, and just mainly just sculpts in general. But it's the weekend. It's been a quiet Saturday evening, and I figure why not? Why not try to make my dream bass guitar here? I've been making a bunch of bass videos, especially like with the Yin-Yang Fodera. I also have this bass that I made right here, which was for Davey 504. This is his signature model that was in a purple sort of two-tone, almost sunburst color. I made that. Here, I'll put that to the side up there, next to the Fodera. Figure I'll have all 3 basses side by side, and I'll be posting this video more than likely sometime in the morning. It's Saturday evening right now, and I'm just kind of tinkering around, just trying to see if I tried to make one of these, how would I do it? I'm especially proud of the finish I have on here. That just looks, it's as close as I could make to the actual color that it is, and it's called Dragon Eye Burst. It's one of the coolest looking, it's definitely one of the coolest looking colors I've ever seen on a bass. Ooh, here, hold on, there's one thing I forgot. Now here's the back of the neck. Now the neck on this thing is thick with 3 C's. I mean, this thing's huge. But what I like about it is the fact that it's a hybrid bass, and you don't, like, if you've ever seen like a 6-string bass or anything that has more than, any bass that has more than 6 strings, the neck is like, I mean, they're thick. You got to really reach up there to actually get those notes properly. But the good thing about this Ashula bass is that you can play it like a regular 4-string. You don't have to reach that upper register for the lower notes because there isn't any. It's actually tuned very similar to a normal bass guitar. Here, I got a little more purple I need to add to it. So this is just a little video of me just tinkering around, making something cool. if you enjoy content like this, please leave a like. And I'll be making this video. I'll make this video so people can comment. I would love to see what people's comments are for what this looks like, for what their thoughts are, and especially some feedback. I would love to hear what everybody has to say. Anybody who watches this, and anybody who does watch this, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so very much. Every view that I get, every like I get, and every subscriber I get, it motivates me to make more awesome content like this for you guys. Because I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been kind of doing it just of my own accord. And the fact that I have this platform now to be able to share this with you guys, I'm more motivated than ever to do this. For the longest time, I've been trying to figure out how to turn this into something. And I've been so busy with work and so busy with, just normal life that I haven't given myself the chance to actually start something new and to sort of break into my passions, I know I'm kind of talking to myself right now, but I hope that people are entertained with videos like this. Going on now. This is about 16 minutes. If you've watched all the way up to this point, your patience will be well rewarded. I'll make this video, and then I'll also be making another quick showcase video just showing off what this guitar is, so that way people don't have to wait the entire time. There we go. It's so difficult sometimes to make these little sculptures because you see that? you get a lot of the oil and stuff and the clay on your hands, and your hands become sticky, and sometimes when you work with this clay it sticks to yourself. And on top of that, I know this is not normal. A lot of people, when they do sculptures, they typically, they use carving tools and shaping tools and pokers and stuff like that. I've never really used tools. I've always kind of done things on my own. When I was younger, I actually got into this. I was about 4 years old, and I was actually taking toilet paper, and I was getting it wet, and then I was using it to mold shapes on my bathroom sink when I was 4 years old. And my mom saw what was going on. My mom and dad both saw it, and they saw fit. They bought me a thing of modeling clay. And here, just to show you, this is the typical modeling clay I use. Just the Go Create non-dry. This is like plastiline style modeling clay. This one particularly comes in 20 colors. You can get this at any Walmart, Target, any arts and crafts store. I would recommend anybody who's getting into this, start out with this. This stuff works well as doodle clay. I would definitely recommend that for your first time. I may end up even doing a review video, but considering that most of my videos so far have been using that clay, I mean, hell, every video is pretty much a review of what that is. I gotta be so careful with these little bits. There we go, that's better. All right, and now I got one more that I made here. Take a little bit off there. And once again, if you're watching all the way up to this point, your patience is going to be well rewarded. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to post this video tonight, and then I will post a showcase video in the morning showing off this masterpiece. Okay, now that I have that, let's see what it looks like so far. Oh, man. Oh, oh, that's so cool. Oh man, I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked at this. This is so cool. Oh, it's so nice to be able to do this. All right. Here we go. All right, let's see here. I got the picture next to me here. Hang on. Back. Oh man. Oh man, that's got a bunch of knobs on it. Okay. If I remember, because this thing has a bunch of different controls on it, and it also has like a typical Ibanez style bass. It has a hole in the side about right here where you actually connect, that's actually the plug-in. so you can plug it in. And if I'm not mistaken, this is an active bass, so it has an active EQ. So it's able to, I mean, it's one of those basses where you have to make sure that there's always a 9-volt battery in it, so that way that it always works. I'm pretty sure that's how it is, but then again, I wouldn't know. I've never actually held one of these in my hand, but on my bucket list is to own one of these guitars. Okay, I think that's it. Let me real quick, I'm going to go ahead and take off the neck, put it down there so this is so I can hold this a little easier for me to work with. Real quick, let me start to blend this in a little bit. Here we go. There we go. Now I try to blend it in because it has this sort of, it's like a 3-color sunburst look, but it's called Dragon Eye Burst. It's just one of the coolest looks for a guitar here. Okay, now let's go ahead and put the control knobs on it. It has one set about here. I'm using a picture as reference because there are so many little details. It's tough to remember all of these offhand. Go, and then it's got 3 more. Yeah, this thing has a bunch of knobs on it. It's got knobs for bass, middle, and treb. It's got bass for it has knobs, volume and tone knobs for both the piezo system for the top of the neck and then also for the 4-string on the bottom. And it also has a tiny little switch. I can barely see it on the picture. It's so small. Right on the back there. I'll make that there. And then to make the cutout, let's see, I'm going to take a toothpick like this. Sorry, let me get that into the camera real quick. There we go. Okay, that's pretty close. That is not bad. That is not bad for it being just a, you know, just my hands and a trusty old toothpick. This is fun. I don't know if you guys watching this, if you think this is a lot of fun, but I do. I think this is an absolute blast. Being able to do this, because this is actually the first time I've ever tried to make this. Goodness, those knobs, they're so small. Ooh, and they actually stick out a little bit further on the picture. I'm gonna have to change those real quick. Here we go, pop that out. That out a little further. That out a little further. I tell you what, I know there's something that I could probably do in the future. But something to definitely talk about would be live streams. I mean, my gosh, I would love to do live streams. I'm fresh when it comes to the whole creating content thing. So bear with me. I'll be making some longer extended videos like this one. This is a sort of, I guess you could call this a showcase / tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and post that as such. There we go. Now let's bring that out a little further. And there we go, and then there's the 7 strings with the tuners and the tuning knobs. Oh man, that looks cool. Okay, I'm almost done. I have just one more touch. The one thing about this guitar, I will go ahead and say again, since the neck it's 7-string, the neck is absolutely massive. And I had these, you probably saw them earlier. Let me move this out of the way. You probably saw these long little strands of purple that I made I think they're about the length of the neck. They're pretty close. Yeah, I'm going to have to make them a little longer. So I'll talk while I build this. The neck is actually made of 7 pieces. It's a 7-piece neck. It's absolutely massive, this thing. I mean, this whole guitar, that's why it's a dream guitar of mine. It's an absolute, it's a dream of sort of mix of mind-bending numbers. You know, 7 strings, fretted, fretless on the same neck. You know, it's got 2 different pickup systems. It's got a bunch of different control knobs so that you can adjust and change anything you want. It's a bass, I mean, it's a bass that not only looks like a work of art, but also plays. I mean, it's a bass that I would love to own one day. It's absolutely fantastic. Cut that off there. There we go. Yeah, because the back of the neck, it's split. It actually, if I'm not mistaken, the neck is, it's 7 pieces, so it's, I believe it's, if I can remember right, I'm trying to remember that offhand. I'd look at it on the computer, but I want to try to make this video fairly short. I know I'm already sitting at, yeah, I'm at 26 minutes. I want to try to make this as short as I can be. Sorry, I was just concentrating for a minute. There we go. Yeah, the neck is split into 7 sections, but it actually has purple heart built into the neck, purple heart wood, which, I mean, I've already said before, that is some of the most gorgeous wood. And if I'm not mistaken, the other wood I believe it's walnut. It's also part of it, which is a very soft wood. I mean, here's my walnut pedestal that I use for many of my sculptures and molds. A lot of you have already seen this in videos. This wood is just soft, and when it gets wet, though, it actually bleeds purple. It's kind of cool how walnut is. But that's just a little fun fact about walnut wood. But one of these days, I will own this guitar. I may not own it right now, but right now, I might as well, because I've literally made it. Okay. Here's the moment of truth. Move that out of the way. Okay, let me move everything else out. Okay, come here, you. There it is. The Ibanez SRAS7. Oh, hang on. One final detail. I forgot. This guitar actually has, if you look at the actual picture, it has a thumb rest that sits on the top right here, where you actually rest your thumb so you can play with your fingers. Makes it more comfortable to play. And that rest is actually made of walnut. It's made out of this wood right here, and it looks just like this as well. It's very soft. And it has this beautiful grain to it, if you can see it. There you go. See, it's got the grain in there. It's just very gorgeous wood. So I'm going to take this little bit of brown. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to hold this up. There it is. And let me do a quick jump cut. I'm going to show you a picture of what the actual bass looks like. There's the actual bass guitar. That is the Ibanez SRAS7. Like I said, I'll be leaving a link down in the description below to show you guys. You can go to the Ibanez main page to actually see what the guitar looks like, but let's go back to the sculpture. Okay, there we go. Let's do another quick showcase. Oh, man. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, my gosh. This actually came out way better than I imagined. Of course, with me making it by hand, there's little imperfections, but, I mean, my goodness. It was just my hands and a toothpick just to fix some of the details. And, of course, I couldn't put the inlays in there. That would take too much time. I may put them in there for a showcase video that I'll post for tomorrow, but I'll be posting this video tonight. Tonight is Saturday evening. And if you've watched all the way up to this point, this is a 30-minute video. Here's your reward. The Ibanez SRAS7, my dream bass. I sincerely thank you so much if you've watched all the way up to this point. And I'll post this. I'll leave a comment down below. Leave a comment down below. Give me some feedback. See how close I got making this. Literally, I just made this just off the cuff. And I started recording sort of halfway as I was making it. And I just wanted to share this with everybody. This is my dream bass that I will own one day. I mean, not now, but eventually. The Ibanez SRAS7. Once again, if you've watched all the way up to this point, I sincerely am grateful to you. I am so thankful for you for watching all the way up to this point, because I'm able to turn the dreams in my mind into reality with such beautiful sculptures as this. Let me go ahead and do a little presentation here. Oh my god, that's so cool. All right, this is getting too long. Once again, go ahead and leave a like down below, and please leave a comment. Give me some feedback. See what you guys think. And please subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the more motivated I get to make off-the-cuff content like this. I'll be making some more videos. I've got some more videos coming up with some premieres coming up over the next couple of weeks. So, thank you for watching. I love you greatly. Thank you very much. And stay tuned. Thank you for watching.